you've been around guys who are pretty high energy, high energy for sure. And I imagine that's kind of needed right now too, right? I mean, even though you're not physically there with these guys, you kind of need to bring that to the equation.
You better have that, and there's definitely ways that has to come across, especially when, Rich, you're meeting, these 25 rookies for the first time.
Right.
And so trying to build a relationship with them and get connected with them. And it's like, okay, to get to know you, what do I really need to know? Like, I know your stats. I can look you up on Google. The scouts have been to the school. But having those one-on-one conversations, that's the thing to me that makes the difference. And so, fortunately, we've had those one-on-ones where it's a chance just to visit away from football, off the field. What are the things that light you up and your family background, and then we can kind of start building that on the football side. But it was that's one thing I would say moving forward every year. I didn't always do that to have a one-on-one, FaceTime call with every player prior to our rookie mini camp. But I will from now on, because having that uninterrupted time, entering into a team and a culture and what's expected of you, it was, something that I'm definitely going to use for, moving forward.
So what are you being told right now, Coach Dan Quinn of the Falcons, where about when you think there could be a protocol for a mini camp or a training camp or anything of that nature? Where does that currently stand for you?
Yeah, and that's the hardest part for everybody, because they're wanting to look down the road, and they're saying, all right, man, how do you just throw like a kick-ass week? And so I try to give the guys guidelines just as soon as they're concrete. Once they become more concrete, then I can, sell them to them. I don't want to throw out some stuff to them and then, say, hey, this has to change. I kind of went the other approach, Rich, to say, I know right now outside there's a lot of things of what we can't do and what we don't know, but here's what I do know and what we can do. And so that's meant their workout. Some of the guys are working out together, here in Georgia where they're allowed to do it. They're not allowed to do it at the facility. Some people are in their homes all over, like, whether they're in California, a guy like Alex Mack who's there and doing training on his own, and then they, have, connections online with the guy. So it's really a customized off-season program at the moment. We've had meetings where they're one-on-one, then the next space is one-on-some, and then I'm sure, you've been on some calls too where, like, we do a Zoom meeting where it's, 50 people or, hey, those have to be quick, man. It's kind of like reporting the news and sharing it. It's hard to have, especially for a guy like you could probably appreciate this, who likes humor, when the microphones are off and you don't have body language, some of the humor part that you like to have fun at the team meetings, you don't get to incorporate that as much as you do when you're one-on-one. So a lot to learn. But as far as down the line, I've just tried to stay, hey, man, this is the intent for the week. We have like a team meeting on a Monday, and let's throw a kick-ass week, up for the next 4 days, and then I'll reconnect with you over the weekend, and we'll set it again for Monday.
So I guess you don't have the into Will Ferrell that Coach Carroll has. Look, we can find some comedians who love the Atlanta Falcons to burst in.
Yeah, we do, and ours is Keenan Thompson. So yeah, Keenan's been on with us.
Okay.
And,
yeah.
We even talked about for us, like, he did Saturday Night Live from home, and I said, what's it like without the audience laughter?
Right.
And they said, like, Dan, that is the thing, where it's like you don't hear everybody and see them, and so. Like, for those of us who love, like, the interaction with the team and the players, that part you don't get to do. So you just try to find other ways to do it, like staff meetings where you get to see everybody. That's better than a conference call. So you just try to find little wins, man, and where you're going. But, yeah, Will Ferrell is as funny as you can. And I've been in meetings before where he's come in, during my time in Seattle. And I can remember, like, one time literally I had, like, tears, out of my eyes. He was like, and it was like ad-lib so quickly. The dude is super talented, man. It was in New Orleans in like 2010, and I can remember like it was yesterday.
Yeah,
funny as hell.
Yeah, Keenan Thompson though, he's been in more Saturday Night Live sketches than anybody else. So I mean, you can go toe to toe. You've got.
We're not backing down. We might have those guys go head to head.
You're not
maybe
backing down.
Will has to come out for our opener against Seattle. Keenan
Right.
will be here. Everybody has to battle. So Pete and I, Will, Keenan, team. Just bring it,
I like it. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.